Audience feedback is important as it allows the creator of media products to tailor their product towards what the most people like and prefer. It also helps them to edit irrelevant things from their work, such as information that isn't needed in an interview in a magazine, for example. During my project work, I used and relied on audience feedback to track the process of my work, as after working on the same project for a long time, it can be hard to see the faults or improvement in your own work. I use my peers and my teacher as my audience and use their ideas for improvement and their preferences to guide my work, especially regarding my contents page, which I wanted to drastically change towards the end of my project. When I started my project, I created a questionnaire for my peers and audience to answer, asking them questions which would help me suit my magazine to what the audience preferred. For example, I used questions such as, how often do you attend gigs or concerts, to give the audience a wide choice of answers to choose from, such as never, monthly and fortnightly, to name a few. I did this as it would give me more accurate results rather than asking non-specific yes or no question, which would give me poorer results. Although I thought my questionnaire would be useful in finding out what to include in my magazine and give me an insight into what the audience would want from my magazine, my plans didn't go ahead as planned. As I was ill, I was unable to make a live version of my questionnaire, and when I asked my peers for help, they hadn't received any results on their questionnaires either. As my project is finished, there wasn't much point in creating a live questionnaire when I had done everything, so I had to rely on other forms of audience research to help my magazine and ancillary tasks look realistic and fit to my audience. If this project was a real media creation or company, the results of the audience would matter more, but as this isn't a real project, my product doesn't need to rely heavily on audience research, as I had researched into the generic conventions of other regional listings magazines, which arguably helped me and my project more. For the type of audience research that was successful, I used printed versions of my magazine as a form of poll and asked my peers to vote on which they liked best. By doing this, I was able to make my mind up when faced with either changing my double-page spread ideas completely or keeping it as it was. I wanted to change it because I thought it looked strange in comparison to the rest of my magazine. However, the class voted 13-1 that I should keep it to my original design, which I did. From this experience, I learned that audience feedback was really helpful and essential when creating a media product, as even if you don't like something yourself, the audience is the most important person to think of when creating your project. In conclusion, if I was to make another project in the future, I would ensure to finish and get results from my questionnaire, as I believe that they would be helpful in creating an audience-fitting project, including the most popular content that the masses would like. I would also do polls similar to what I did for my current project, as I found them to be very helpful when stuck on where to go with the design of my magazine. I found audience feedback to be really helpful when done correctly and when the right people are asked to participate.